I be sparking and rushing mad like inside the dark. Call me Bill Snatcher, just a brother for the rapture. I hang live, holding on strong, hard to capture. Extravagant, resurrect the track and it's militant. And I react like a gauntlet and start killing. It's manifesting. The God's work like appliances, dealing in my sacred.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy Naruto Explain here, bringing you guys another discussion for Boruto and Naruto Next Generations. And today I want to follow up with you guys about Boruto chapter 70 and the game-changing nature about this chapter. This much hyped about moment in this series about Code finally getting his limiters removed is finally here at last. We now have reached a point where there isn't just the cyborg sibling duo of Ada and Damon who were scheduled to be destroyed because Jigen viewed them as too big of a threat because Amado said he produced cyborgs that were stronger than Jigen, but now we have Code to round out this deadly three-man team of cyborgs with power beyond Jigen. This has led to fans asking, how can Naruto and Boruto ever hope to compete against a being who is that powerful, let alone three beings who are that powerful and possess hacks abilities of their natures that they do? Well, as we've seen in the Naruto franchise before, sometimes the only way you can fight hacks is, well, with more hacks, which is why a few of you guys have mentioned Minato's Flying Raijin to be passed down to the next generation. That moment is here at last. Given Code is able to grab anything and anyone through his claw marks and teleport to them, or teleport them to him, it makes fighting Code in a battle extremely dangerous because your combat travel speed might not be enough to get you through the battle, which is where the Flying Raijin comes into play. The ability to teleport to any location that has been marked with the sealing jutsu formula, or any person who has been marked with the jutsu sealing formula, is in many ways a potential hard counter to somebody like Code. Given there is no limit to how many active seals you can have placed and the seals never going away, having someone like Naruto spam placing markers while using the shadow clones in various areas, or having somebody as powerful as Boruto, who is also a highly efficient genius at that, who finds shortcuts to improve jutsu, it's opening up the possibility for Boruto to take his grandfather's signature jutsu and evolve it even further, which is in line with what we've seen in the Naruto franchise. Just as Minato surpassed the jutsu creator Tobirama Senju, and just as how Naruto evolved the Rasengan decades after Minato created it. However, I know some of you guys might be asking right now, but Naruto explained who can teach Boruto the jutsu. There's nobody who can teach it to him, and it would be too convenient if Minato and Tobirama scrolls were still left in the Hokage library. So this is where some of my credit history with you guys got to come into play. I think I got good credit with you guys, right? So starting with the second reason, that's actually the entire point of the Hokage library. The prior Hokage stored forbidden jutsu and S-rank jutsu in the scrolls so their successors can look through the information. However, that's irrelevant to this conversation because we have no need for Naruto to go digging through the Hokage library for all those magical scrolls that may or may not exist to find the relevant scroll. There are three people inside of Konoha right now who can teach Naruto and Boruto this jutsu. Minato's personal Hokage guard squadron know the Flying Raijin. They used it to teleport the Mizukage to the battlefield during the 4th Great Ninja War because Tsunade was marked by the jutsu sealing formula. The drawback to them teaching the jutsu is that while each of them knows the mechanics of how to pull the jutsu off, they themselves can't pull it off individually due to the enormous amount of chakra that the jutsu requires, but they can perform the basic jutsu when they pull all their chakra together. And that's a very important thing to keep in mind because it means that the jutsu can be taught, but to their credit, while they can't perform it without one another working together, they can still teach the mechanics of the jutsu, which they deserve all the credit in the world for that, which, speaking of credit, this is actually a good time to tell you about the sponsor of today's video, Extra. This video is going to be brought to you by Extra. Just like how the Naruto world places a big deal on building your reputation as a ninja, our own world places a great deal of importance on building your own financial credit. And Extra offers a really easy and convenient way for you to do so. Extra is an amazing debit card and it allows you to earn reward points much in the same way that credit cards do, with Extra allowing you to earn up to 1% back on redeemable reward points. Signing up is pretty easy easy. Just connect to your bank account and Extra will set up your spending limit, which is going to be called your spend power, and it's based off your bank balance and a few other factors. The best thing about all of this is that it's done without a credit check. Each time you use your Extra card, Extra will cover that purchase and pay themselves back the very next business day. When you reach the end of the month, all your transactions are total and reported to the credit bureau as being on-time credit payments. As someone who grew up in a family that stressed the importance of establishing good credit, Extra definitely intrigues me because it gives you an easy way to establish your own credit instead of signing up for a super risky credit card with all these hidden fees and rates. And best of all, Extra has 0% interest. I recommend using the Extra card as well. If you're interested, sign up using my link in the description box and the pinned comment so you can begin your journey to a higher credit score faster than Naruto began his journey towards becoming the next Hokage. This is where everything's about to get interesting. So Naruto learning his father's signature jutsu, that is one thing. That's a fan service moment, but Boruto adding it to his repertoire makes things a lot more dangerous and makes things very logical. A battle against Code now gives him an option to retreat where he doesn't have to rely on the fluke of understanding how to open up portals using his Karma space-time ninjutsu that also requires him to physically enter into the portal, whereas with the Flying Raijin, once you master it, the teleportation is automatic. In any battle against Kawaki, who can summon chakra rods and chakra cubes from the Daikokuten dimension, you now have a way to get out of harm's way faster by teleporting to other spots that have been marked by your jutsu sealing formula, which really comes in handy if you're marking objects and you're not using kunai. It allows for defensive escape options while also allowing for other options to move around the battlefield to open up a clear path to get a shot for the enemy. Speaking of shots, Boruto learning this jutsu and combining it with the Rasendan jutsu, which shoots out a compression Rasengan like a chakra bullet, it makes Boruto a very deadly opponent when you start combining those jutsu. Boruto and Naruto marking each other with the seals also allows for insane combo attacks to be used by father and son, including just outright teleporting the other one to the location due to their chakra being connected via the seals. Fighting Code in this manner is going to require more than just insane combat speed and reaction time. It's also going to require nasty hacks that can serve as being a counter to his combat abilities and his skills, mainly his claw marks, which have been compared to the Flying Raijin in nature, especially if Konoha chooses to go on an offensive now that they know where Code's hideout location is and they don't want to sit around for him to show back up, however long that takes. Now, assuming that Code is talked into waiting to retrieve Boruto, this is a very pretty solid option, and it also is something that can be used to assist with the major elephants in the room, Ada and Damon. If Boruto learns the jutsu, it's only a matter of marking Ada due to Boruto being immune to her. The only thing left to do is to teleport her to another location and then teleport Naruto to the battlefield. The same thing is true for Damon. While attacks cannot work on him, that does not mean he can't be touched, because we've seen the opposite. He can be touched. Code has carried Damon for piggyback rides, and Ada has been shown holding him. We've seen Code reach out and touch Damon to bring him through his claw marks. We've seen Damon be touched. It's only when you try to attack Damon that it becomes an issue with his reflection jutsu. Attacks meant to do harm to him are reflected back to the user. Bloodlusted attacks are magnified and sent back at the user, but he can still be physically touched, which means it's as simple as teleporting him away by either directly teleporting him, or since your chakra is already connected, you can teleport him to another location without actually touching him, which means that you're indirectly teleporting him. It makes for an easier battle when all you have to worry about is fighting against Code and trying to use numbers to overwhelm him and keeping him too preoccupied with the battle for him to reach through his claw marks and draw Ada back to the battlefield, because he's going to be unable to draw Damon due to not being able to place the claw marks on him. Flying Raijin, it's been something that fans have wanted Naruto or Boruto to learn, which for whatever reason in 2022, if you still think Naruto knows the Flying Raijin, if you're still falling for that bad translation that Viz Media did in Naruto chapter 700, watch my video on why Naruto does not know the Flying Raijin. However, I want to know from you guys, do you guys think that a father and son Flying Raijin is well overdue? Do you think it's gonna happen, or are you like me and you're more likely to see Boruto learn Flying Raijin than Naruto, if not see neither one of them learn it, because Boruto already has a space-time ninjutsu? Let me know down in the comment section below. So always, guys, if you like anything I had to say, don't forget to comment, rate, subscribe, and share. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end. Have an awesome day, guys.